Good morning. I didn't even post this to Patreon. I forgot to grab the link. Hey, Renee, you want to grab that link and throw it up on Patreon? Sure. Thanks. Good job. Yay, admins. The best. Can I even do it while we're live? Share. Copy link. Copy link. Hey, y'all, hold on one sec. Got it. I did it. I got it. Holy cow, the comments. Good morning, everybody. Deborah Bjornson. I feel like your husband's Swedish, probably not Mexican. Kev, hydrating. Roger, never sleep, but chase your dreams. You gotta sleep sometime or you're gonna die, okay? Not all the time, though. Just a little bit. You should hydrate. You and Kev should get together. You'd be a good team. Miss Hermit Hill, Shalom. Tasha Patton. Big fan of your great uncle. You can, Mogwai, good morning. Bear, how can I reach the dance monkeys about last night's video? Toronto gnome. I don't know. What kind of gnome are you? Are you one of those annoying little Travelocity gnomes? Or are you a good gnome? There are no good gnomes. They're all wizards. Take them outside the gate and stone them. Intel at bearindependent.com. All right, y'all. Listen, Douglas Hemingway, good morning. Shaloha, Colton J. Lake Rat, Zeke. Mohammed Youssef, good morning, everyone. Bew. That rhymes with pew pew. Chad Gordon. Thank y'all for being here. Appreciate y'all. Y'all are the cool kids. Stay cool. Stay cool. Remember Oklahoma survival. Stay humble and kind. We all need this reminder. I might stick one of those on my forehead before the day is done. Isn't that correct? Beginning reloading and the Highland Hunter. 91.8 thousand of you need CT scans because you have for some reason subscribed to this channel. Thank you. Remember, 100K, he seems better today. Oh, thanks, Kev. Your approval is not required, but partially appreciated. Taylor Swift is a dude. Got my Waking the Giant tee yesterday. Awesome. I love that name, by the way. Taylor Swift is a dude. She's flat as a board, Renee. I'm just saying. Flat as a board. Anyway, 91.8 thousand people here. Bless you. We're on a big kick, 100K by 4-day. So if you're new here, please consider subscribing. If you've been lurking in the shadows forever and a day, enjoying this content, but you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I would greatly appreciate it. 100K by 4-day, the 4th of July. We're trying to have 100,000 subs. Why? Completely arbitrary goals. But hey, aim big, right? So we're aiming big. No, Bear, it's aim small, miss small. Take it down a notch. It'll be okay. By the way, 4th of July, Independence Day, Waking the Giant. Peaceably assemble and redress your grievances to your governing bodies. Stand around a grill, you and all your buddies, maybe with your plate carrier and your ARs, depending on where you live, so that people don't ransack your neighborhood. We'll see. But yes, peaceably assemble. And let the government know that you don't need their permission to exist, nor are you asking for it. You just do you, okay? The entirety of this report is available on Patreon, this one right here. You don't get my scribbles on Patreon, but you do get the whole body of this report because there are things that we do skip over for brevity because there's a lot here. In fact, I believe I posted 10 things on Patreon yesterday. Little snippets of our life, as well as at the $10 level, some of the deeper reporting and a whole bunch of stuff yesterday on Patreon. So shout out to the patrons. You guys are awesome. We could not and would not do this without you. And that's not just a cute catchphrase. I literally would not do this show if it was not for Patreon. So thank you. Intel at bearindependent.com is where your tasty intel nuggets go. Please send them there. Intel at bearindependent.com. A rumor that you heard on Twitter book is not intel. Okay, intel, again, for everybody within the sound of my voice, is what? Independently verifiable and actionable. So if you heard a rumor on Twitter book and your buddy heard the same rumor and said, yeah, I heard that too, that does not make it independently verified. It means, let's say, I heard a rumor that the National Guard is arming their soldiers. Okay, start there. Then if you actually have contact with somebody in the National Guard and they say, yes, sir, that's correct. We've been issued ammunition and been told to carry it. We're all carrying combat loads and we actually have a magazine in our rifles. No, it's not chambered, but yes. Now you actually have confirmation. That's intel. But two people who saw the same Facebook post does not make it confirmed. Okay? Okay, roger that. Intel at bearindependent.com. 9 June 2020 overview. Bear Independent Intel report. Number of worldwide cases of COVID. What's that? Remember, it's that thing that everybody was afraid of before the whole world got set on fire? Yes, COVID-19 cases continue to climb, as they would do since numbers tend to go up, not down, with pandemics. Like, the number of deaths is never going to go down. Maybe, but I digress. As of the time of this reporting, global cases are 7,159,000, with 3,254,000 of them being active. Global deaths are 407,000. Global recoveries are just about 3.5 million. U.S. cases are over 2 million, 2,019,000, with 1,139,000 of them being active. U.S. deaths are at 112,888. I don't buy this number. U.S. recoveries are 767,144. We have received numerous reports of people first-hand reports, independently verified, that somebody literally, as an example, somebody who got shot went to the hospital and was put on a ventilator because they were having trouble breathing. And then that death was reported as a COVID-related death because they were on a ventilator. How much of that is going on as compared to the actual number of COVID cases, I don't know, but it clearly illustrates that the numbers are skewed. And from what I've heard, now again, this is not intel, this is rumor, but from what I've heard, it's a lot. There is a lot of that going on because there's big money in that. Another thing that I've heard is that insurance companies are not paying out for COVID-related deaths. So it's actually helping to soften the blow of the insurance companies during this time when there's, a lot of payouts happening. Okay. The map of the United States is modeled with National Guard activations and peppered with protests and riots. All officers involved in the incident that led to George Floyd's death have now been arrested. Mr. Floyd has been buried, and the unrest continues. The key part of that statement is, and the unrest continues. And the reason for this, in my summation, is that the unrest had nothing to do with George Floyd in the first place. This unrest is very carefully calculated, very carefully planned. It's extremely well funded. It's well coordinated. And they were just waiting for a spark. And George Floyd was the spark. So we were asked yesterday, hey, why do you think it is that now that all this has been going on, officers have been charged, George Floyd has been buried, that the rioting is still happening? Because they don't have anything to do with each other. Around the globe, while rioters are chanting elsewhere, they're not chanting about George Floyd. They're chanting about destroying the capitalist American system. Because that's what's happening here under the guise of protesting George Floyd. Officers have been fired and arrested in various instances related to the arrest. Black and white people have been killed by rioters. Stores continue to be looted. Buildings continue to be smashed and burned regardless of who owns them or who depends on them for work. Chapstick. Technically Carmex, but whatever. Don't laugh at me, Renee. Serious business over here. Renee's laughing at me. Calls to defund or disband the police continue. Trump has tweeted that he believes in more funding for the police. Several areas are already beginning to make moves on this call. Los Angeles and New York City will be shifting away from funding their police departments. New York City is planning to publicize police officer disciplinary records, and the Minneapolis City Council has announced that they will be moving towards dismantling the police department. Now, this is utter stupidity in my mind. Remember that nature abhors a void. So if you remove the police, what happens? Either the, air quote, bad people step into that void, or you get community policing programs. Now here's the deal. In some instances, that could be a good thing, because in my community, we're all more or less like-minded. We all agree on the big things. Is Jesus the Christ? Yep. Are Americans entitled to a whole slew of freedoms given by our Creator and constitutionally protected? Yep. Should we steal from each other? Nope. Is it cool to adulterate with each other's wives? Nope. Like, we're all kind of on the same page here, right? So that'd be cool. However, like in New York City, where they have community policing departments that are staffed by Muslims and adhere to Sharia law, that would be a problem if you are a gringo like me. I don't adhere to Sharia law. I don't recognize the sovereignty of Sharia law. I won't be under it. I have one king, and his name is not Muhammad. So that would be an issue. And nothing against those who are Islamic. But we all agree here within the United States of America that we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal and endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights. And among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So if you're playing from literally a different rule book, if I'm playing from this rule book and you're playing from a different rule book, now how do we have some congruency in the policing? The answer is we don't. So what replaces the police? Either chaos or community policing. It might be a good strategy to let the police step back. Go ahead, step back for a year. Let's see what happens. I don't know where you're going to get the money to rebuild all of the things that will be destroyed. Not out of my pocket, we'll just put it that way. That's fine, Minneapolis. You do away with your police system. I'm not paying for it. I will not pay for you to rebuild because you've made terrible decisions. More than 300 New York Police Department officers have been injured during the rioting. One was struck by a hit-and-run driver, another was beaten, and another nearly died from a brick that was thrown at him. A former New York City police commissioner has said that 600 police officers have either put in their papers or are talking to the department about resigning or retiring. This is another thing that you're going to see. Slow Chuck, bless you. Matthew, bless you. My Anchored Life, bless you. Thank you. And Ducks, bless you. Arizona is seeing record numbers, the best words, of COVID-19 hospitalizations. It is believed these numbers are a result from Memorial Day gatherings. If this pattern holds true, we may see a massive wave from the protests and riots currently taking place in a couple of weeks, possibly prompting another round of tyrannical, economy-crippling legislation. If that happens, if the idiots who disobeyed all of the guidelines and suggestions and curfews and all of that cause another wave of COVID-19, and then therefore the government says I have to shut my business down, I can promise you, I can 100% guarantee that I will not do that. There is not a chance in hell that I'm gonna not go to work and not feed my family and not pay my bills and not pay my employees because some a-hole in Minneapolis thought it would be a good idea to have a week-long temper tantrum. I'm not doing that, just so we're all on the same page here. And I have a really good feeling that a large portion of the country, perhaps a majority of the country, ain't gonna put up with that crap either, because the hypocrisy is on display now. You're telling me I can't go to church, I can't go to work, I can't live my life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, but these a-holes can go out and protest in the streets, rape, loot, pillage, burn, murder? Yeah, no. No thanks. Not interested. Tell me I can't. Let's have this argument. Let's have this fight. Tell me I can't go to work. I will lose my S. And I know y'all will as well. And I'm almost waiting for it. Go ahead, tell me I can't. Let's see what happens. China's imports and exports have plunged due to the coronavirus and trade tensions. Good. Maybe not good. I don't know. On the one hand, good. Let's not fund their continued militaristic escapades. Escapades? That's the word, right? Not escalade. Don't fund China's escalades. On the other hand, when empires get desperate for resources, they become even more militaristic, which is why Bear's not an economist. 2 or more eyewitness accounts under continuity of infrastructure and supply chains. Repeating for those who don't quite hear that good. Due to the civil unrest, many stores are closing and or reducing hours. And roads and public transit systems are closing, at least temporarily. This will affect delivery routes. Everybody catching me? Okay, just making sure. This will affect delivery routes. Additionally, many sellers are removing guns, ammo, knives, bows, and even BB guns from their shelves. Not at adventurefrontier.com, bro. You need stabby things, they got stabby things. One manager said they are available upon request. However, the policy may vary by vendor. Yeah, stabby things. That's a good shirt. Somebody make that shirt. Lucia, are you listening? Stabby things. You know, it actually doesn't really go with the rest of your product line. It'd be like, stay humble and kind. The little B shirt, stabby things. Probably a bad idea. I don't know. Talk to Jerry about it. Don't laugh at me, Renee. Legal, political, and military. Recap. Captain David Dorn, the retired St. Louis police captain who was shot and killed while attempting to defend his friend's business from a looter, died, bleeding on a sidewalk on a street as vehicles drove by, one man filming yelling, "Stay with me, man," and toward the street a heart-wrenching, "Over a TV, cuz!" Now a 24-year-old man, Stephen Cannon, or Stefan Cannon, I don't know, has been charged with first-degree murder. Good. Stinger time, bless you. First-degree robbery. Good. First-degree burglary. Good. Felon in possession of a firearm. Oh, look at how well those gun laws work to keep that felon from getting a firearm. We should have more of those. Felon in possession of a firearm. Good. And 3 counts of armed criminal action. Good. As a note, race is not a factor here. Both the deceased captain and the alleged murderer are black, and it is not believed that they knew one another. How many people have been killed in Chicago so far this year? 179? Something like that? Where's the outrage there? Right. Because the outrage on display right now is highly coordinated, masquerading as protests. It's not. George Floyd and these riots have nothing to do with one another. Plausible deniability, cover. It's cover action. George Floyd is cover action for a coordinated attack on the United States of America. Says me. Animal processing appears to be slowly returning to normal after the steep drop experienced earlier in the year. Did I already say that? If I didn't, there you go. However, did I already say that, Renee? She wasn't paying attention, y'all. What the hell? Work harder. Work harder. Okay, whatever. Hey. Whatever. Okay. Order some Quick Clot. Do your job. It's fine. People, we're going to make it. It's going to be okay. We're going to make it. Yeah. No, I like it. It's good that you're over there. It's like there's a voice of reason within the room. I feel less yelly knowing that there's somebody else here. So that's good because like I don't want to yell at you because she's right behind not right behind the phone. That'd be really weird. But she's over there, and I don't want to be like and scare it. Now she's right behind the phone. That's actually kind of weird. Go back in your cage. Okay. Animal processing appears to be slowly returning to normal after the steep drop experienced earlier this year. Here's the deal. Even as processing returns to normal, the inventory of animals has suffered during COVID-19 because of the supply chain logistics experienced significant hiccups. Remember the hundreds of thousands, millions of animals we were talking about being euthanized even a couple of weeks ago? There's less inventory now as well. Rich, bless you, brother. Thank you. So continue on producing your own food, okay? Continue in that. Worst case scenario, you end up with a bunch of chickens that you raised yourself that actually taste like something, taste like chicken, not an amorphous blob of pink protein, and that doesn't have hormones, antibiotics, any of that crap in it, that wasn't passed through a chlorine bath to kill all the bacteria and fecal matter that's on it when it's processed. Blah, blah. Yeah, just what you have is food, not manufactured food type things. You have food, okay? So stay with it on that. All right, a Lowell, Michigan police chief, Stephen Bucala, or Buckala, or whatever, was forced to resign after 25 years of service after he wrote on the PD's Facebook page, guys, Facebook is just a cesspool. Why? On the PD's Facebook page in response to calls about Second Amendment demonstrators open carrying on Main Street. He said, quote, "We are aware and no need to call us. We at the Lowell Police Department support the legally armed citizen and the Second Amendment," end quote. Good job, Police Chief Stephen Bucala. Good job. The city manager, Michael Burns, is a sop and wet P word and asked him to remove the last part. I editorialized that last part. And asked him to remove the last part. He declined. Good. Good job, Cap. Michael Burns, the things I'd like to say to you, I can't say on YouTube, which is why we have Patreon. Might do a whole separate video just on that. Societal in general. According to a health tracking poll, a quarter of Americans say they have skipped meals, visited a food bank, or have applied for or received SNAP benefits since February. Boy. Food shortage. Maybe we'll do the threat matrix tomorrow. Y'all want to do the threat matrix tomorrow? Hit me in the comments right now. Should we actually do the threat matrix tomorrow? Yes, no, maybe. Gotcha, thanks. You're welcome. Yes, yes, sure. Okay, Carla. Sure. Carla's like, maybe, sure, whatever. Yep, yes. Yes, I vote yes. Ashley Storms votes yes. All right, threat matrix tomorrow. Let's make a note, y'all. Let's make a note. Write it down. 10 June, do the threat matrix. Bear. Got it. I got it, guys. I got it. Thanks, you. No, Jacob Keaton, you the man. All right. The midweek matrix I like, Brad. I like We All Gonna Die Wednesday. I think We All Gonna Die Wednesday is great branding, right? We All Gonna Die Wednesday. All right, awesome. Freight Car Mark, cool name. Okay, appreciate y'all. Okay. According to warnings issued by a few law enforcement officers and basic common sense, it is highly likely that the families and homes of Leos are law enforcement officers, or peace officers if you prefer, are currently being scoped and targeted. That's not a war you want. That's not a war you want. Let me tell you a brief anecdote. I am blessed to exist in part of a large tribe of really awesome people who practice with weaponry regularly. It's part of who we are. Even amongst the believers in Yeshua, whether they be Messianic or, Hebrew Israelite or whatever, we are still kind of an outlier because we're all agricultural, we're all homesteady, and we all carry guns. And we practice with them regularly. I'm talking about weekly or several times per week, just constantly. I was at our range yesterday, okay? Constantly practicing with firearms. And we have one brother that part of his job is to carry a firearm. We are all constantly practicing with firearms. And this brother, he's the last guy I want to get into a gunfight with, because while the rest of us are like, okay, draw stroke, and he's like, clear, reholster. So anyway, guys, what you want to do is this, and this. It's like, oh yeah, that's right. Your life depends on you being able to run this every day safely and effectively. Those people are the last people you want to pick a fight with. They have an incredibly strong fraternity, an incredibly strong brotherhood. They will support each other before they will ever allow you to attack them. B, they carry a gun every day. It's their job. The potential death is on their hip every day. What? Why? C, let's go into a hypothetical world here. If you targeted my family, you have now removed all of my compassion, all of my mercy. I am going to wipe you off the face of the earth. History will never even mention your name. You will cease to exist from human memory. I will destroy you. Why? I'll tell you why. Demoralization and undermining the strongholds of our society. Law enforcement. It's a really stupid game to play. If you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. And law enforcement, what happens here, or what could happen here, is that they do actively target law enforcement. And what happens is that the targeting of law enforcement is not reported or is underreported, but the law enforcement response is drastically overreported or twisted to fit the agenda, to fit the narrative that is being pushed right now. What you would probably get is, San Diego PD officer goes on shooting spree, kills 12 people. Not San Diego PD's officer family brutally executed in his house, exacts revenge, and wipes off 12 people and is now going on a hunting spree. And I would remind you of this. Vengeance is mine, so says Yahuwah, the Lord your God. Yep. But he uses subcontractors all the time. All the time. Read your Bibles. Don't target police. That's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. Societal in general, back to this. The World Health Organization is now saying that asymptomatic spread of the coronavirus is, quote, very rare. The World Health Organization can go pound sand. Coordinated. Tank the American economy. More and more every day as I see this thing play out, I see this as a highly coordinated series of attacks on the United States of America. Less so the Trump presidency, although that's certainly part of it, and more so the American way of life and the way that we do things. Many people have asked, what would war with China actually look like? I would say there's a strong possibility we're seeing it right now and have been seeing it for the last couple of months. Chew on that. Put some of that in your pipe and smoke it. It's entirely possible we are experiencing it right now. All right, intel at bearindependent.com. Where? Where does my intel go? Intel at bearindependent.com. Because it's intel and I'm Bear Independent and the website has a .com on it. It's crazy how these things work. Intel at bearindependent.com. At bearindependent.com, you can get all kinds of things. T-shirts, patches, goats and hoes. See, my wife wrote this up here. The goats and hoes t-shirt is there. It's a very cool t-shirt. You should buy one. It'd be awesome. At least help us recover our costs on those. That'd be cool. Goats and hoes t-shirts. What else is there? Stickers, patches, hats, t-shirts, scriptures. Guys, we can't keep the scriptures in stock. Praise Yah. The biggest amount we can order is 120 of them at a time, and we're ordering 120 a week and can't keep them in stock. Praise the Most High. Like, it's, if they are there, awesome. Please grab a couple. If they are not there, you can get them at www.isrindiasierra-romeo-messianic.org. What else is there? Thumb drives. And I've shown y'all the Bear Fact, and I've shown you the Bare Minimum. I'm going to show you the Active Shooter Response Kit this morning. Might be something to consider. We sell a lot of these to small businesses, to schools. With a school, what we advocate is that you Velcro this. You just run some Velcro through the back here, industrial Velcro. Velcro it to the door, not to the door, to the next to the door. And if something happens, because the standard protocol right now is that if you hear shots fired, you lock the door and you retreat to the blind corner of the room. Well, if you have one of these in every classroom, you run to the door, lock the door, rip the blowout kit off the wall, and retreat to the blind corner of the room, so that you're holding a purpose-built blowout kit. Or in some cases, they don't have the budget to put one of these in each room, so what they do is that they have certain people on staff who have the training and experience to employ a kit like this, so they put one of these in each room where they have a teacher or a person on staff that knows how to run a blowout kit, so that if something happens, they have a purpose-built blowout kit and they can go respond to the issue, whatever it may be. Because this is not a boo-boo kit, it's a blowout kit, okay? Churches, we sell a lot of these to churches as well. Red with high vis, reflective. Also sell these to fire departments. So it's your standard, right? You rip the top open. Up top here, you've got a SWAT T tourniquet, and the reason for that, I like the SWAT T for kids. I hate the idea of having to tourniquet kids, but I like it for kids because the cat tourniquet, I mean, I EDC a cat tourniquet, okay? So here's my cat tourniquet in my back pocket. This, because of this plastic plate right here, which it is flexible, and they say that this plate, that this tourniquet right here will work on a limb diameter down to 1.25 inches. That's like that big around. What is a blind corner for those that don't know? Thank you, Matthew. A blind corner of the room is the corner of the room that cannot be seen from the door. That when the door opens, if the door gets open, or if somebody looks through the glass in the door, they don't see anybody. That's the blind corner of the room. So that if there is an active shooter that's walking through just looking for targets, when they look into that room, they don't see anybody. So you run, lock the door, flip the lights, retreat to the blind corner of the room. If they don't see a target, they're not going to go looking for a target, historically speaking. Great question, Matthew. Thank you. So I don't like the cat tourniquet for small diameter limbs, and I don't like the rat's tourniquet either for small diameter limbs, because the rat's tourniquet is good when placed in situ. But when you move that casualty, it has the possibility, a greater possibility than this, of loosening. And if it loosens and we go back to unrestricted arterial bleeding, we don't have a tourniquet effect. So that's why I like the SWAT T, because it can be used for kids, it can be used for adults, and you don't have to get these from me. You can go buy them at adventurefrontier.com right now, okay? Buy them anywhere else. But I like these for kids. They also work on adults, and you can use them not just for tourniquet, but you can make a pressure dressing with them, a sling with them. You can do all kinds of stuff with them. In fact, hold on, let me see if I got one open. I have one open? I'm pretty sure I have one open. I just don't know where it is. Why you do this to me? Oof. Oh. Okay. Good job, Renee. Keep up the good work. Okay. Here's a black one. Okay. A little impromptu class. This is just a band of silicone. So you can also do like workouts with this, like this. And, or I don't know, I've never done one of those band workout things. And they smell oddly good. They remind me of orange creamsicles. So that's cool too. You got that going. The SWAT stands for stretch, wrap, and tuck. Stretch, wrap, and tuck. And you see right here how we have these rectangles. When you pull it enough that the rectangles become squares, you have enough tension that you're making a tourniquet. Okay, that's how much tension you need to apply. See here? When you stretch these into squares like that, you have enough tension to make a tourniquet. You can also, like I said, make a pressure dressing with this. It's easy to apply with one hand, and it does not matter the size of the limb that you're applying this tourniquet to. And so that's why in the active shooter response kit, I include a SWAT tee, because it can be used on kids effectively, quickly. It's intuitive. If it takes very little training to understand how to use one of these. Stretch it, wrap it around, tuck it inside of itself, tourniquet, boom, good to go. So in this kit, you got a SWAT tee up top, and as usual, inner pouch comes out of the outer pouch. Pop it open. You got your repeat offenders here. Surgical tape, Gen 7 cat tourniquet. So you have a cat tourniquet and a SWAT tee. Nitrile gloves, and then with the nitrile gloves down here, we also have an emergency blanket because we're assuming that we're treating a gunshot wound and that it, God forbid, could be a kid. And so they're going to be more prone to shock than adults are, and they have a lower amount of blood in them than adults do. And so you want to make sure that you're maintaining that core body temperature, that they don't go into shock. So emergency blanket, decompression needle here, and then down below, we've got our usual stack. So we've got our 7 1/4 inch EMT shears, nasal pharyngeal airway, 2 5x9 gauze pads back here, and then we've got our high fin chest seals, full size again, 2 of them. Then we've also got quick clot down here, clotting strips. There we go. So you've got not combat gauze, clotting gauze, quantity 2 right there. And so if you had to, you could treat a couple of casualties with this. You got 2 tourniquets, 2 chest seals, 2 strips of clotting gauze, 2 5x9s. If you had to do airway management, you've only got, 1 airway and 1 decompression needle, but you could definitely add another airway to that, no problem. And in some cases, a lot of institutions choose not to include the decompression needle because, for example, it requires training. You don't want to stick that into somebody's heart. You want to stick it into their pleural space, between the 3rd and 4th intercostal space if you can, but that requires training. And so a lot of people opt out, no decompression needle, which is cool. You can do that too for like institutional orders, which we do 10 or more. If you want 10 or more kits, email me, we do custom pricing. You can email admin@Bear Independent for that. And then also, like, when we do kits for like departments of correction, the corrections department, they don't really want decompression needles laying around because it'll probably get stuck in somebody's jugular instead of their intercostal space. So, we do stuff like that too. But anyway, that's the active shooter response kit, and it's purpose built for dealing with, like all of our kids, dealing with gunshot wounds. And unfortunately, purpose built for dealing with gunshot wounds in public spaces, which is becoming more and more of a thing. So I figured I'd show you that kit today. We have that available at our website, and it's also available at adventurefrontier.com. And, it's just another option. More tourniquets, like I said, quick clot in there, a couple of clotting strips, so forth and so on. And it's all in this handmade, guaranteed forever, hand-stitched Sojourn Gear bag, made in the United States of America. If you break it, I'll send you another one. So, cool. And then lastly, adventurefrontier.com. Guys, girls, boys, children of all ages, reptilians, furries, all of you within the sound of my voice, however you identify. If you're a flat earth donut hole, overlords in the center of the earth, living, drinking the aquifers down there person, whatever. There's ridiculous legislation out right now, once again, to ban body armor. In light of everything that's going on in the world, you should probably have some armor, okay? Adventurefrontier.com is where I get my armor. People ask me all the time, Bear, do I really need armor? Okay, I live here and I have 5 sets of armor. I'm gonna let that sink in. I live here. I don't live in Minneapolis. I don't live in LA. I don't live in New York City. I don't live in Miami. I don't live in St. Louis. I don't live in Oklahoma City. I live here in the middle of nowhere, and I have 5 sets of armor. How's that for an answer? AdventureFrontier.com is where you can get your armor. Spartan armor. You can get all of the additional extra spalling coatings on there, the triple curve. Do you want the Sentry Carrier or the Mop C? If you're a big dude like I am, I really like the Condor Mop C. I wear a 2X shirt, have a 56-inch chest, and the Mop C fits me, okay? So, highly recommended, adventurefrontier.com, and you can use promo code BEARNATION to get you $10 off armor, or anything really, but $10 off of armor. That's a good deal, dude. There's not a lot of profit margin in armor. And so that Travis and Jimmy at Adventure Frontier would be willing to give Bear Nation $10 off armor. They've essentially cut their profit in half by doing that. There's not that much headroom in armor. So go see them, adventurefrontier.com. Get some armor. If you need some armor, I mean, look, guys, there's armor in my office. I'm at work and there's armor here, okay? You can get your armor from adventurefrontier.com. I highly recommend them. I love those guys. I know them in real life. They're awesome people with big hearts, really big hearts. They're great people, so go check them out. If you're gonna buy some armor, buy it from adventurefrontier.com. Use promo code BEARNATION. And while you're there, you can get a Bear Fac or a Bear Minimum to hang on your armor. I recommend the Bear Minimum for a plate carrier. That's why I built it. It's mine. It was mine first before it belonged to anybody else. I made the kit that I wanted to deal with gunshot wounds. And then I liked it so much that we brought it to y'all. The rest is history. So bless y'all. Thank you. So cool. Single accounts, insider intel, and miscellaneous. Should we drink a little bit of water? What do you guys think? Should we drink some water? Live chat. The kit is legit. Patriot X, we need that on signs. The kit is legit. The kit is legit. You guys can, yes, do it tomorrow. Drink water tomorrow? Coffee has water. Matthew Coolidge yelled the word hydrate, so I will. Taylor Swift is a dude. Roger. Should we throw the empty water bottle like it's a grenade to the other side of the office like I usually do and potentially hit Renee with it? What do you guys think? Try. Tim, you rock. Yes, there's a lot of yeses going on over here. All right. Remember, you got to hook it like this.
Not even close.
Not even close. And it didn't frag out. Thank you, Yank. And it didn't even explode. I'm sorry, guys. But you're welcome over there on that side of the office. Oh, yeah. Yeah. But welcome to Bear Independent. This is how we do things around here. That would be rioting. Thank you, Logan, for the clarification. Oh my goodness. Am I fantastic? Question mark. You are fantastic. You are fantastic. And if nobody ever told you that before, you are. Sorry, Faux Daddy. This comes with the territory, dude. I'm sorry. Yeah, he said no, don't do it. But it's too late, so it's already done. It's already. She's okay. I promise, she's okay. Yeah. Okay. NWA, bless you, brother. Okay. Single accounts, insider intel, and miscellaneous. Now, we have a bunch of letters and firsthand accounts from people on the ground on Patreon that typically are included at the end of this list. And so, this brief. And so, if you're on Patreon, I would recommend, after you read the brief, to the extent that you do read the brief, if you go past the brief, there's usually letters from people who have written in there. So we have a bunch of single accounts and insider intel there as well. Repeating international. The protests have spread internationally. The protests, we talked about this already. The organized chaos has spread internationally. Here's a list of countries that in no way care about George Floyd, but are using this opportunity. And if they do, it's, how much do they actually care? I'm going to say none. Because what are they chanting? Death to America, essentially. Paraphrasing here, but they want to destroy the capitalist system of the United States of America. And if you have not read, on the recommendation of Pastor Joe Fox of Viking Preparedness, The Fate of Empires by Sir John Glubb, I recently reread it again, and I would recommend that you reread it, because about every 250 years, an empire falls. Well, 2026 will be 250 years from 1776. I know math is difficult, but I'm pretty sure that's accurate. Here's a list of countries that don't care, but are also rioting. England, Germany, France, Spain, Denmark, Italy, Syria, Brazil, Mexico, Ireland, New Zealand, Canada, Poland, Australia, and more. There's a ... I feel like that's called an umlaut, but it's not. An umlaut is the two dots above a vowel in German. That's an ellipsis. There we go. New Zealand is no longer on lockdown. Yay? Question mark. And Sig Sauer, the firearms manufacturer, is closing down their German operations due to bankruptcy. Yay? Not yay. Not good. Debunking misinformation. Previously, the BBC reported that, quote, an officer threw herself from her horse, end quote, during a rally in London. Footage shows rioters launching projectiles and bicycles at the animals, causing one to panic and bolt despite its extensive training, throwing its rider when it hit a traffic light. Also reported, quote, 27 police officers injured during a largely peaceful protest, end quote. In U.S. media, clips have been cut to avoid showing positive things like police stopping en masse to aid a protester after he was injured. The clips they show are sometimes inappropriately inflammatory. In addition to extreme bias, many media outlets are simply struggling to keep up with the facts correctly. The Great Deception, y'all. The Great Deception. There will come a time where you won't be able to believe what your eyes see. We're there. Just because you see it doesn't mean it's actual. Many of you have sent a viral video of police in an alley with a black truck full of bricks, claiming it as proof that police are planting bricks for protests. The police department for Northeastern University has said their officers are theirs, and they were removing loose bricks from the sidewalk for safety reasons. A news photographer took photos of the spot in the sidewalk the bricks were removed from. Then there's a bunch here about rocks and bricks and protests and Acme Brick Company. Trump using tear gas. The whole report's on Patreon, y'all. Actionable. In larger population centers, militia are an outnumbered distraction. Try joining the Texas State Militia in North Dallas, where people are more concerned about their $110,000 never been off the pavement pickup truck than they are with actually preventing tyranny and fellowshipping with like-minded individuals. I'm not saying everybody, I'm just saying practically everybody that I ever met there that espoused some type of interest in the militia. What they were looking for was a plausible excuse to explain why they bought a whole bunch of Gucci kit and firearms when trying to justify their Amex card bill to their wife. That was my experience. So repeat, in larger population centers, militia are an outnumbered distraction. However, in smaller towns, it has been seen over and over, and good on you, boys and girls, good job, that when local armed peacekeepers and patriots line the streets, trouble does not get out of hand. Are you and your neighbors organized and prepared for rioters targeting your area? Are you in communication with your sheriff's department as a group? There have been instances of impersonations during these protests and riots. Pay attention to who's who. I would not go anywhere near these riots myself personally. Well, and I don't need the PR. Man bear storms rioters, kills 12 with bare hands, story at 5. And then there's just an image of me on the news with one person in each hand, smashing that, like, dude breaks window by throwing protesters through windows. Like, yeah, it's, I can't go there. I don't have the self-control to go there. The new firearms transaction record form has all the buyer information on the first page. Make sure that nobody's snapping pics of your buyer information. Okay? Okay. Reach out and socially support others. Suicide is on the rise, even among children sequestered at home. Make sure your people know that you love them. Spend time with them. Give them hugs. Talk to them. Identity theft, scams, viral misinformation. You can look for freezers on alternative marketplaces like Facebook and Craigslist. If you're on Facebook, my wife is, and even she is like, I have gotten to the point, Renee is, Harmony, my wife, is like, she gets on, she scrolls through it and goes, oh, this is a bunch of bullshit, and puts it down and walks away. And she's right. That's been my experience. She's right. There is a Bear Independent Facebook page, but the only thing that's there are the posts that I make on Instagram that then automatically post to Facebook as well. So, shows you how seriously I take Facebook. But, whatever. Whatever. I digress. If you need medical supplies, you can go to bearindependent.com. You can also look at midwife and veterinarian supply companies. If you need alternative food resources, you can find some Asians. Oh, that's not what this says. I'm sorry. You can also find somebody named Jonas Yoder. No, it says find Amish and Mennonite people. Asian supply stores and the Jonas Yoder Wheat Emporium is another place you could go. The Amish and Mennonite stores, restaurant supply stores, and local farmers. You can form groups and buy direct and process live yourself. I really, 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 really encourage you to learn how to butcher something. And the first time the first time you do it is kind of like the first time it's going to be awkward and messy, and your expectations are going to be wildly different. There might be some shame involved, maybe a little bit of guilt, perhaps some giggling. But hey, when it's over, you learn something. You'll probably be better at it next time. I don't know how to encourage you more strongly. Although, in this case, butchering requires knives. I would not recommend knives for the other activity. Tragic things can happen. No. If you cannot obtain seed in your area, plant your pantry. Dry beans. Our beans that we planted out of buckets are doing awesome. They're doing really, really awesome. Seeds found inside ripe squash and tomatoes. Potatoes left to sprout eyes. I did a post on Patreon yesterday. From old potatoes that I planted in our garden, 9 square foot of old potatoes yielded 10 pounds of new potatoes. Awesome. Awesome. I'm looking forward to eating them on my cheat day which will probably be Sunday. And I'm gonna make a giant bowl of mashed potatoes and just stick my face in it and eat my way out of that bowl. It's gonna be awesome. Stay politically vigilant and contact your representatives. HR 5717 and S3254. Keep them on your radar and keep in contact with your state reps. Support your medical care workers and small businesses. They are bearing the brunt of this and could really use your encouragement. Really, you guys know how I feel about small business. Stay humble and kind. Patience, understanding. If Amazon can't get product to your door and it's stated fulfillment time, we are all simply doing our best. And I promise you, if there's a company that I rep, that if I encourage you to go do business with them, it's because I've already done business with them before I bring them to you. And I know the kind of people that they are, okay? So, not everybody can make everybody happy all the time. That's statistically impossible. But I guarantee you, we as a community of small businesses here amongst the Bear Nation are doing our absolute best to make sure that every one of y'all has a smile on your face with every transaction that we're involved in, okay? And that's essentially our commitment to you. We will treat you like family and do our absolute best under every circumstance to make sure that you get precisely what you ordered, precisely what you paid for, to treat you like family, to take care of you. That's what we are. We're all small family businesses. And y'all are helping us build these businesses, and I really do appreciate you with that. Silver linings, quote, in the last 4 months, my family's world has been flipped upside down and we had to make a drastic change. We spent the last 2 years living in an RV, giving our children the experience of a lifetime, and with all the drama, I had to abruptly cut that adventure short. We bought a house with 4+ acres and planned on using it for passive income and to become self-sustaining. During this time, the company I worked for opted to reduce pay in lieu of layoffs, which strapped us financially. We had to put off the garden, food storage, and most other preparedness actions so I could feed my family and ensure they had the necessities. While Bear was talking at the end of the 8 June daily brief, I had my heart tugged on pretty hard. Instead of being present in Bear's prayer, I prayed on my own, asking God to step in and show me how to get where I needed to be so that I could work my way there. Once the brief was over, my wife came into my office and told me that, quote, while she was sleeping, there were multiple messages regarding the rental of all available resources we have. We will be finalizing the details over the next few days. Time after time, God shows up when I call and blesses me more than I deserve. Amen. That's awesome. Quote, while the world burns, I've been doing well, with many thanks to my Creator and to you, Bear. I've finally gotten a newer car. Still blessed to have a job and been watching every single brief since the first one. I've turned my backyard into garden, planting my pantry, getting good results, stocked up on ammo, also raising meat birds, chickens, ducks, etc. Doing the things, staying humble and kind. Got together with my neighborhood to set up security for livestock owners just in case. Thank you, Bear, for all the effort and time that you have invested. It's paying off. Thank you. This is a covenant. This is an agreement between 2 or more parties. I take it seriously. Yesterday should be evidence of that. I take this seriously. And thank you all for being here. And just so we're all on the same page, praise the Most High. It's not because I'm cool. I promise you that. This is not because I'm cool. It's because He is awesome. Just ordered 2 cat tourniquets from the Bear store, saving up to get a bear fac. Bills are paid, and the Lord's light is definitely shining upon my tribe as we push through this mess, staying positive and pushing forward. Awesome. And boys and girls, children of all ages, I want your silver linings. I need your silver linings. Please send your silver linings to intel@bearindependent.com. I want to be able to bring stories, reports of what's going on out there amongst us, amongst the Bear Nation, of the good that is coming from this. I do not want this to be doom and gloom. I do not want to dread having to come and talk to y'all because we have a report that's filled with chaos and hurt and anger and pain and loss. I don't want that. And so we have to continue to partner together. I need your good reports. I need to know that what we're doing is making a difference. I need to know that the Father is working in your life. And I need to be able to bring that here to the whole Bear Nation so that people can see, yes, He is awesome. And yes, there are real positive results from putting your hand to the plow and going forth and earning a living from the sweat of your brow, the blood of your hands, right? I need this. So I'm asking you humbly, please continue to send in your silver linings. They go to intel@bearindependent.com. You will find local food resources and like-minded people at the forums at bearindependent.com. Hey Bear, where can I find the forums at bearindependent.com? You can find the Prepper Classroom, digital downloads, Bear Facts, all kinds of other emergency supplies, as well as t-shirts, hats, stickers, patches, all the things at the web store at Bear Independent. Grindstone. Hey, are we still looking for an attorney and a grant writer? We're still looking for an attorney and a grant writer. If you are an attorney or a grant writer, and I don't mean your uncle's cousin's best friend's college friend from 1972. I mean, if you are an attorney or a grant writer and you would like to assist us in our mission to rescue victims of human trafficking and sex crimes, please shoot us an email. admin@grindstoneministries.com. Admin, A-D-M-I-N, admin, there we go, got it, admin@grindstoneministries.com. To support Grindstone, listen, there's like a handful of days left on the raffle. The raffle is the most tremendousest that ever tremendous, okay? In fact, it got so big that I had to stuff it all in this bag that I'm now including in the raffle as well. There's the bare minimum on the side of it. Let me see if I can remember everything that's in it. It's about 40 pounds worth of stuff at this point. The Grindstone raffle is a $5 bill. You can get these raffle tickets in the store at bearindependent.com. All that money goes straight to Grindstone Ministries. We've raised over $20,000 already to help us build the chapel at Bethany House, as well as general fund, as well as the meeting hall at Shofar Mountain. Bless y'all, you're awesome. So $20K has been raised $5 at a time by y'all so far. You're awesome. You have a few more days to get some more raffle tickets, okay? What's in the raffle? You have an incredibly badass bushcraft knife handmade by Fleming's Fabrications. You have a UW Gear Incorporated mini swamp rat chest rig multicam with M4 pattern magazine pouches. You have a multicam bare minimum. Thank you, sir. Multicam bare minimum blowout kit. You have an Amendment 1 Preparedness 30 caliber canned ham light 25 watt ham radio with battery backup inside of a 30 caliber can. You have a whole bunch of swag from the Sanctified Supply Co. Shirts and hats, a cool little swag bag, awesome stuff. You have coffee from disastercoffee.com, including 5 pounds of their bunker beans that you can put in Mylar and keep on a shelf forever. Bunker beans is a good name, by the way. You have soap from Hero Soap. It'll make your dangly parts tingle. Believe me, I've proven it. If you haven't watched that video and you need a laugh, go watch the Hero Soap Does It Suck review here on our YouTube channel. You have some Bread for War t-shirts from our buddies at Bread for War that are in there. You have this multicam bag, like a 72-hour bag that I put it all in just because. You have stickers and patches from Bear Independent. And I know that there's stuff that I'm forgetting. I know that there's stuff that I'm forgetting. All for $5. You have a chance. One person has a chance to win all that for $5. And oh, by the way, yes, this is my hand. And yes, those are calluses. And yes, I do work for a living. Those are scars and those are calluses. And yeah, we get after it. Part of what I'm trying to do daily is prove to you that if I can do it, you can do it. So that you quit believing in me and you start believing in yourself. Okay, so please support Grindstone. You can get a raffle ticket. You can go, again, the raffle tickets are in the store at bearindependent.com. You can get some coffee at disastercoffee.com. I need some. And it is the opposite of suck. Disaster Coffee started Disaster Coffee to create revenue streams to bless people with, to be able to essentially tithe to organizations like us. I love the business model. Sanctified Supply Co. Get dressed at Sanctified Supply Co. You probably need a Stay Humble and Kind sticker. At the very least, you probably need the new bear uniform of Stay Humble and Kind. I do. I love it. Lucia and Jerry, they're awesome. They're some young people. They got a little kid, started a business on a whim, sold like one t-shirt, and then the Bear Nation found out about them, and y'all went to town. And you have just lifting them up daily. So also great Instagram, so you can check them out there. Sanctified Supply Co. Thank you for supporting them. And Amendment 1 Preparedness. Those canned ham radios are now on pre-order. Okay, he's been so overwhelmed by the response from the Bear Nation that he can't keep up. But if you would like to pre-order a radio from Amendment the number 1 Preparedness, those canned ham radios are totally badass. And you can use promo code USA for $5 off the Waking the Giant t-shirt from Sanctified Supply Co. And you can use promo code BEAR for 10% off any order from Sanctified Supply Co. That's it. That's it, folks. That's the whole brief. Y'all are awesome. Thank you for sticking with us. The entirety of this report can be found on Patreon. Thank you for being here through the good days and through the bad days and through the heartfelt conviction days and through the goofy days. And thank you for being a part of what we do. This is a partnership between us and y'all, and I really, really, really appreciate it. Let's talk to the Father. Good morning, Father Yah. Thank you for being awesome. Thank you for your mighty hand of provision and blessing. Thank you for moving pieces about the game board of life, giving us what we need when we need it. Thank you for the abundance of your provision and blessing. And thank you that even though the world has lost its damn mind, you are still sovereign over all things. You always set apart a remnant. You always stretch your mighty hand to your people. And we are blessed to be called your people. Father, thank you for the opportunity to do this. Thank you for everybody within the sound of my voice. And Father, if there's anything within the sound of my voice that's not of you, we all come together in agreement and rebuke it in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach. And if you just felt something like lift up off of you, it's gone now. Breathe easier. Be filled up with the Ruach HaKodesh, your Holy Spirit, Father. That you would be physically indwelt in us. That we would be a light unto the nations. They would see us and want what we've got, because what we've got is you. That you would create opportunities for us to evangelize and testify and serve your kingdom and put your power and authority and your love and your wisdom and your strength on display for all people to see. Thank you for constantly making a way for broken, busted up sinners, and for not abandoning us, for not disregarding us, even as we may have disregarded you. Thank you for ruthlessly pursuing us and leaving the 99 for the one. Father, thank you for redemption and restoration through Yeshua Messiah. Pray that you would rain down blessings on our day. I ask all these things in the mighty name of Yeshua HaMashiach. Amen. Renee, don't cut onions in here. Stop it. Bless y'all, Bear Nation. You boys and girls are the coolest kids on the block. I don't care who says what. Bless y'all. Bless y'all, bless y'all, bless y'all. Y'all are awesome. Love you back, Brother Benjamin. Haunted, amen. Shalom. Honey Bear. My neighbor has a dog named Honey Bear. When did Honey Bear get her own YouTube account? Tony John, bless you, brother. Mr. Brees, bless you. Admins and Blue Wrenches, you guys are awesome. Paula Joe Davis, shalom. Doug Bucher, shalom. Sarah, Chaz, hi. Donna, man, bless y'all. Y'all have an awesome day. Intel staff, clap hand for the Intel staff. Love you back, never know. Love you back, Sean. You guys are the best. You guys are the best. J.A. Dudley, shalom. Shalom. All right, y'all. Have an awesome day. Go be the light. Shalom. Marlo? Oh my gosh. Marlo. Oh baby, let my people go. Shalom, y'all.